All right, so today's story on Stories with Steve is when my mom and the homie P's mother tore up the corner store. Now, if you grow up in New York City for the most part, every neighborhood got a few different delis and specific blocks, favor one deli over another and stuff like that. So basically, there's a deli. It's literally right around the corner. We don't even got to cross the street. Literally around the corner from where I live. Everybody on the block goes there, right? I mean, the dudes who opened it up used to live right next door to me when they first came over from Yemen, right? So we're cool with them. Everybody on the block's cool with these dudes and whatever. Most of the guys that work there is cool, right? But some kid on my block apparently decided he wanted to do some typical little teenage antic, hood antic is steal, I don't know, potato chips or something out the store. And they got this new Habibi dude in there, fresh from Yemen. And his perception is this kid in America stole. Every kid on this block is thieves. So me and the homie P, other kids, Eddie, we go in there, to buy potato chips, soda, stuff for our mothers and stuff for kids. So we go in there, unbeknownst to us, that some other kid on the block stole something out of the store. So we're going in there to buy stuff, and Arabic dude behind the counter, you cannot come in here. You thieves, you're all thieves. You're thieves, you steal. And we're looking at him like, what the hell, bro? Like, we're literally going to buy stuff. We got money in our hands. No, you must get out of the store now. We don't even want your money. So we're like, what the heck? But again, like, I got an Italian mom. The homie P mom, his mom's Black American mom. And you can't give them like that kind of like explanation on why you didn't come back with the milk, the toilet paper. If you were a kid in the 80s and the 90s, your parents might have sent you to the store to get cigarettes and they gave them to you. Yeah. But, like, so we go back and it just so happens our mothers were talking in the courtyard of the building and they're like, well, where's the toilet paper? Where's whatever? And we're like, oh, the new dude in the store said we can't go in there. We're thieves. But we didn't even steal anything. So our mothers, just think, oh, maybe it's a miscommunication, mistaken, I don't know. We'll go over there and talk to him. You guys go upstairs. So the homeboy P come up to my crib or whatever, we're watching TV, and our mothers go over there. Now this dude, in other countries, women to be seen and not heard, and whether it's cultural rules, religious rules, they deal with women in particular ways that don't really fly in America in the 80s and 90s, and definitely not the 2000s and 2020s and so on. So they go in there and they're like, you called our kids thieves. They didn't steal nothing. We everybody on the block brings a lot of business to your store. And we fix the situation. Blah blah blah. This guy automatically gets disrespectful because he's used to like, in his country he can talk to women any way he wants and there's like no rebuttal. But you're in America, in the United States of America. You're in the Bronx, and you're talking to a Italian New York mom and a black New York mom, right? So this is not whoever you're used to talking to in your country, however you're used to talking to them. This is a brand new world. He doesn't realize it. So he starts getting disrespectful and nasty and like chauvinist and da 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 da. And they were like, oh, word? Okay. And then he hurled the B word at one of them or whatever. And that ignited my mom and P mom. They went into demon mode. This guy didn't see it coming. So first, a 2 or 3 little launches near his head. Boom, he ducks that. A lit cigarette comes flying. Gets his face. Ah, he yells. So now while he's trying to duck the next cigarette, bop, a 2 or 3 liter hits him in the head. Right? So now it's pandemonium, craziness. The store is getting tore up. It's like two angry Tasmanian devils on revenge mode, out for blood. You know what I mean? And they're tearing up the store. So then my mom opens up the store door, and then P mom just starts taking the racks that have all the potato chips and candy and stuff like that. Vroom, vroom, and she's throwing it out the door. And we're in the hood. We're on Allerton Avenue in the Bronx by Allerton and Wallace. The store's no longer there. But So we in the middle of the hood. You know, people see it, kids, crackheads, everybody just seeing soda and potato chips and cigarettes and friggin' toilet paper. Everything's flying out the store. Kids are running by over there, folding up their shirts like, you know, like Christmas sacks and filling their shit up. Dot, 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 dot. But this is going on. Me and the homie P, we up watching TV or something, playing a video game. We have no idea what's going on. His sister and another girl who lived in my building come knocking on my door. Doo, 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 doo. We go to answer the door. Hey, what's up? The homeboy P's sister looks at me and goes, Steve, our mother's gone crazy. And I'm like, what you talking about? And she shows us, she like, because she had a bigger shirt on, so she goes like this, and she shows potato chips and candy, bubble gum, and all kinds of stuff. And we go down there, you know, we go down there. At this point, my mom is like, she went to the pizza store across the street because the Habibi dude called the police. So like, my mom's across the street in the pizza store looking through the window, waiting for the cops to leave. The homeboy P mother funny. She goes upstairs, changes her wardrobe, puts on a damn trench coat, and stands by the pizza store like incognito. Like, even though kind of standing in a trench coat in the middle of the Bronx looks kind of like out of the ordinary, but she's over there or whatever. He's over there crying to the police, and I don't know why they tore up the store, and oh my God, and America. So now, you know, a few days have passed by, things have cooled over, and the guy, like I told you, he used to live right next door to me. So the owner of the store, who was a much cooler, older dude from Yemen, he asked my mom, he's like, what went on, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And my mom said, you know, everybody on the block gives your store business. Everybody's friendly with your workers and stuff like that. But our two kids went in there, and your workers started accusing them of being thieves and saying that they could no longer purchase stuff at your establishment no more and blah, 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 blah. And then when we went in there to try to talk to him like adults, he got incredibly disrespectful and nasty with us. So the owner was like, what? Like, I just gave that fool a chance. Turns out this dude was on like some kind of work visa that had some, you know, specifics that if like the dude who owned the store didn't want him working for no more, he had to get on a plane, boat, or whatever back to Yemen. And that's what ended up happening. He ended up having to leave the country, you know, he ended up having to leave the country, go back to Yemen, and not have a job, and who knows whatever happened to him, who knows. But that's the story of my mom and P mom tearing up the store because a dude who didn't know who he was messing with. You know, it's New York. You know what I mean? And these are moms, and moms don't play that bullshit. Yeah.